This show is showing pretty much every anime out there. How you take a cliche and turn it into something that's unique and distinct so you become your own fascinating series rather than a cardboard cutout that we see time and time again. A lot of what makes Jujutsu Kaisen what it is at its start has been done before in different anime. Protagonists being, inhabited by the evil spirit or something like that. The whole academy, sorcery school, a lot of the curses, the creatures, some of the comedic moments, but honestly, at this point, Jujutsu Kaisen is anything other than cliche. Jujutsu Kaisen is its own series, and the idea of our main character dying and coming back to life, still possessed by the evil king of curses, they use that cliche to its advantage to turn the series into something that's actually fairly unpredictable. The idea of someone dying and then coming back to life, and there's like, hey, let's make a deal, you can come back under these conditions. Generally, the protagonists reluctantly agree. That's kind of what you expect. You feel like, oh, a character like Yuji, who's very gung-ho, very positive, even though this is an evil character, he likes to make friends with everyone, he's gonna make the deal. It honestly didn't seem too bad. You let me control your body for 1 minute at a time whenever I say a certain phrase, and you know what? You don't trust me, I'll even throw you a bone. I won't hurt or kill anyone during this process. I think most people could say that's a good deal. Even though it's the king of curses, even though he could do bad things, under the circumstances, would you really want to die when it feels like nothing bad can happen? And Yuji punches him in the face. He says, absolutely not, you're evil. And that was the moment that sealed the deal, that everything that the series may look like at a surface level clearly is much more complex than many people might give the series when looking at it from a distance. Yes, the deal was still made because they made up a agreement. Hey, whoever wins the fight will get the agreement that they want. If you win, I will give you your heart back, you will be healed, you won't have the conditions at all. If I win, the conditions that I set will be used. It's something that leads to, obviously, possibilities. It does feel like our main character is immortal at this point. I'm a little worried in that sense, but I think they will handle it with grace because now that we've seen our main character die, they can't use that fake out anymore. If we see our character ends up without a heart and they try to really emotionally engage us like, oh man, is he going to die? It won't feel right because clearly the King of Curses is going to have no wish to let the boy die now, especially considering that the deal was made. So I'm hoping they don't go the route of like constantly showing us like, oh, he lost another arm or he lost his head or things like that and it regains. If they do that, it should be very quick, very to the point, and have it just be like, oh, imagine a fight scene that's incredibly well polished, well animated. He loses his head and within a split second his head's regained because, of course, the King Curses is inside him. That would be perfectly fine and acceptable, but they can't go the direction they did now, of having it be emotionally engaging, the characters mourning his death. They can't do that anymore, and as long as they don't go that direction unless they actually want to commit to killing Yuji, the series should have no issues going forward, and I'm fully confident that the series will be able to pull off this fake out death and continue to make it exciting in the future, because other characters don't have the ability to regain limbs and a heart if they do lose them. It's very interesting watching that entire conversation play out because I think many of us assumed we knew what was going to happen. He would come back, they would make a deal, that would be that. Not our character completely denying the deal, even though he got his head cut off and it was pretty quick. I loved how quick it was. Another thing I love about the show is that it's not just saying, oh, he's the main character, he can beat a king of curses, even in his own little shadow realm. No, he's the king of curses, he should be able to snap a finger and a head should go flying. So it's very interesting to see how they handled that fake out death and the Mob Psycho style comedy of just a like Frankenstein monster. You kind of rise up your butt ass naked. Everyone's shocked or being like, damn it, I wish I could cut you up. You were my big experiment. You have Satoru who's just so glad he's back. This is a character who I really, really enjoy. And I mean, if the cliffhanger at the end of the episode is anything to indicate, we're going to go up against someone who's basically, his power level is 8 to 9 fingers. That is insane to me, and it doesn't even feel like this is going to be a character strong enough to take out our boy. If it is, that's going to be shocking, because could you imagine after having a fake out death and having a real death? I don't think we will, because it does feel like he's the strongest character we've seen so far, and I don't think they're going to take him out too soon. If they do, that will be shocking for sure. But I liked the episode for how it really did make it so personal. They made it feel like everyone's motivations and what drives him. A guy who you think is just so cool, calm, and collected, is fine killing people in order to get the job done, is actually someone who really values his comrades and the school and everything a part of it, and he's going to do whatever it takes to train Yuji in order to be able to harness that power before he goes to this place and can show that he's back and you can't do shit to him because now he's really been trained. He's getting like a month of training before being revealed to the public that he's back alive and kicking. because you know they're going to take even more actions to try to kill this kid. They give a lot of information in terms of how curses and the energy works. They actually like the realistic way of explaining it, using electricity and wall outlets and appliances as a way to show the difference of just shooting the energy and then using it to do something versus exploding a can with just a blast of force versus using that energy to twist it into a maneuver. It's actually kind of interesting that upon birth is when you get these abilities and it's naturally ingrained into your DNA. Yuji's a character who doesn't have that ability because he was never meant to do so, but because of the King of Curses in him, the longer he's with him, the more ingrained that DNA style will become, and he should be able to do some insane things. I'll probably even put him up against someone as crazy as Satoru and be able to pull off a win most likely down the line. Not any time in Season 1 I doubt, but eventually he probably will be powerful enough to do so. And even more interesting is how I actually thought Megumi was he realized how strong he was, but the fact that he was actually reflecting on the King of Curses saying like, why did you run if you could do this? He's actually realizing his own worth. And the fact that our boy has made now a deal that he can be removed from play for a minute. Once he reaches that power level, I'm curious when the extension commands are going to be said and he's going to try to fight him, because he said he won't kill or hurt them. But fighting if he doesn't land a punch wouldn't actually be breaking the deal, right? So it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen with this demand, because it's very interesting having your antagonist be pure evil, but not to the point where he's laughing like a devil lunatic, but rather he's kind of a troll, and that troll just gives off this king level presence that you just can't help but love. The fight scene was smoothly animated. The character banter was actually hilarious after coming off of a seemingly death. The whole TV training segment was amazing because our boy literally has to watch movies and try to keep a low level curse energy flowing into this insane punching bag, as if it wakes up, it will punch you in the gullet, and I'm like, oh my god, that is hilarious. The show knows how to have fun. The show knows how to make you laugh. But the thing that drives this series forward is how the story and characters are becoming so fresh and unique. We've all seen a good amount of battle shonens and supernatural series using curses, fighting monsters, but I think most of us can probably agree that at this point, 6 episodes into Jujutsu Kaisen, this is a show that screams, honestly, originality. If you take a look at the cliches and you break down the elements at play here, they feel familiar. But by using these elements in the way that they have, they've actually created something truly fresh and interesting. And I don't look at this as a cardboard cutout as early Bleach or early Yu Yu Hakusho or any of the other shows out there that came before. It does feel like it became its own series. It may have taken a little bit to get to certain elements to make it feel interesting and unique, but overall it's been fun from day one, and after watching half of its first core, I can say this show is one of 2020's best. This was an amazing episode, and I'm so excited for more. This episode has me more excited than I've ever been for Jujutsu Kaisen, and you've seen my reviews. I've loved this show since day one. Let me know your thoughts and feelings down below. What did you think of this emotionally heavy, action-packed, hilarious episode where you got pandas swinging around characters because it's a talking panda, you don't need any more than that? Let me know whatever you're feeling. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like to show your support and hit that subscribe button if you're happy and you're around here. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.